going to be talking about the HCSS community. The purpose of this community is to be a collaborative discussion board for any of the professions that you guys are working in on a day-to-day basis. So some of the things we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about how to navigate the customer community website. I'm going to show you guys how to post questions to product-specific forum boards. We're going to talk about kind of the underlying basis of this community, which is to collaborate with industry peers. And I'm also going to show you guys how to look at support cases in real time. So let's go ahead and let's hop into the actual community here. This is what it's going to look like after you log in. Now, to gain access to the community, we've tried to make this as easy as possible. So if you guys already have an existing credentials or an HCSS apps account, which that includes logins to our GPS website, to our mobile applications, to the support portal, you can use that to log into community.hcss.com. It's nice and simple, and it's going to tie up with any of your support history that you've already got, and you're going to be presented with this welcome screen. Now to start out with, just to show you guys, if you are brand new to the community, you're hopping in for the first time, we do have some interactive help here down the bottom right-hand corner. Just to show you quickly what this looks like, if I click Getting Started with the HCSS community, you're going to get a little brief walkthrough that's going to take you through several sections of the site. So if you don't remember anything we cover in this webinar today, keep that one in mind because it'll walk you through what each segment of the site does. So just to show you, we've got our purpose, and it's going to go through the various functions like the search field, where the product boards are, etc. And we're going to cover that in detail now. So first and foremost, if you're logging in for the first time, typically what you're going to do is you're coming here to ask a question about a particular product. So for instance, if I wanted to ask a question about HeavyBid, if we go into the HeavyBid discussion board and we click to ask a question, we're going to get a pop-up. It's going to ask us what discussion board that we are posting to, in this case HeavyBid. The discussion box is going to be kind of more what you actually want to know. So a subject, kind of a brief header about the question that you're asking, and the details is going to be where you can elaborate on that particular question that you need to ask. The details you can add, formatting to rich formatting text, anything that better helps you illustrate the question or the inquiry that you have. As you can see, we've already got some people in here posting questions. We've got answers and views and likes. Typically anything that you would find familiar in a regular discussion board. Now moving on, if you've asked particular questions and you would like to check on it, there's a couple of different options that you've got available to you. So for instance, you can go to My Feed. And I haven't asked anything with this particular test account here, but you would see a running list of questions that you've asked if you would like to check in on them. In addition to when you do get a response or a like or a comment on anything you've posted, you can opt in to receive email notifications as well. And since I touched on that topic, let's briefly jump into profile. Profile settings is where you're going to go to basically, if you'd like to, you can update your title, company name, phone number, etc. But also, you've got the ability to set your profile image. And then going into your settings, you've got a lot of customization that you can toggle who can see your photo. You can see what kind of email notifications you would or would not like to receive, so we're not spamming you too much. Now, let's say you came to the discussion board and rather than asking a question, you want to see if somebody else has already asked it. The search box up here is very unique. It will search not only discussions, but it will also search the help site that I showed you guys earlier. If I start typing in, for instance, how to renumber bid items, it's going to perform search across all discussions and articles, and then I can filter by that as I see fit. So currently there's no discussions on how to renumber bid items, but if I go to articles, I can see that there is a nice knowledge piece here. So looking at this article, you can see that we've integrated nicely our knowledge base. Now on that note, if you don't prefer looking at our knowledge base through this view, for whatever reason, we have a nice link up here that will instantly launch help.hcss.com for you. So you can continue your knowledge search in a format that might be a little more familiar to you. Next thing I'd like to show you guys is real-time cases. So like I said earlier, when you log in with your credentials account, it's going to tie to any existing case history that you guys have with us. And that's going to be updated in real time. You can see an exact history of all of your cases. So you can sort this by status, time opened, etc. And you can dive into any of these cases, which might be something you just opened and are working real time. And you can see who's working on it for you, any kind of updates that they've put into that particular case. And if there is a resolution, we do our best to tie knowledge components to those resolutions, and you'll be able to open up that knowledge component directly from that case. So I know a lot of the times when we're talking to you guys on the phone, you're taking notes, you're trying to jot stuff down to remind yourself how to do something in particular for the next time. This component here will allow you to actually see our notes on the topic and view the resolution that we put forth. Now, just to preface one thing here, guys, this is intended around discussion between mainly you guys, the customers. All day long, you guys can call us and ask how to do something in the software, maybe troubleshooting an issue, and we can definitely assist you with that. When it comes to, best practices for estimating or safety procedures, whatever the case may be, we firmly believe that you guys are much more inclined and have much higher expertise in those areas than we do. So this is really intended for you guys to discuss amongst yourselves. That being said, it is going to be monitored by support, so we are going to ensure that you're not receiving any kind of false information or anything that's just blatantly incorrect. I do want to throw that out there so you've got some sense of security in that. Moving on to the last two components of this particular site, community ideas. This is going to be intended for you guys to give us feedback on what you'd like to see in the community. So you guys can come here and post ideas of what you'd like to see, what you might like to see added or improved, what you don't particularly like. You post them and you vote on them, kind of similar to our product ideas, which I'll hop in here to in a second. But other users have the ability to come in, they can click on it, they can add a comment, they can vote on it, and we also have the ability to then give you status updates on those particular ideas. So if an idea is accepted and it's something that we're going to implement, we've got a status that we can say in progress. If we've got something that is delivered, for instance, this means this idea has been acted on and it's already been added to the community. Under review typically means that we're still taking a look at it as how to best implement that procedure. And last but not least, we give you a handy link to our product idea portal. I do want to stress the difference here. Product ideas are going to be things that you would like to see in Heavy Bid or Heavy Job or Equipment 360. Something you would like to see added to the software or performed differently. This page is monitored by the respective product managers for each product. The community ideas page is specifically dedicated to ideas that you'd like to see in the HCSS community.